There's a basic problem in the realm of medical research. When a company like Merck or some drug company or medical device company wants to bring a new product to market or find a new use for an existing product, there's a very involved regulatory process where they have to test the drug out on patients to see how it's going to work. The problem is that these drug companies don't have any patients. Some doctor that may be a doctor at Temple University or Brigham and Women's has patients. So the drug company will approach these doctors and ask them to participate. For the doctors, it's great because they get a chance to bring new medical treatments to their patients, and particularly for those patients that are not well off, the drug company is going to pay for all the care. For the drug companies, they get an opportunity to get data to see whether or not these new drugs can come to market. The problem is, before that can even begin, you have to put a contract and a budget in place between each doctor and each life science company. And what has happened is that the time necessary to do that over the past 10 years has doubled. So before, well, it might take 1 to 3 months to put in place. Now it's taking 2 to 6 months, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but when you think about all the sites that have to participate in a trial, it might be 100, 150, 200 sites, and you multiply, sure, you can have literally thousands upon thousands of patients that have to participate. When you think of those delays and multiply by that number, what's happening is that medical care is not getting to the people that need it, because the patients that could use the care frequently are simply timing out of the trials. They no longer have the criterion, or their illness is advanced to the point where they no longer can participate. And for the drug companies, they're spending vast amounts of money and time on bureaucrats and administration when the money should be going to science and patient care. For us, we can represent either side of the equation. For starting 2 decades ago, roughly, I went to work in the life sciences industry and quickly got a reputation for being someone who could jumpstart the negotiations of these budgets and contracts. And so for a medical researcher, I've been working for Big Pharma for 17 years. I know what they're not getting. I know what's being left on the table. Oh. And I can do the same thing for the drug companies. But what we really want to do is, particularly with smaller and mid-sized life science companies, is most of the problems that cause these delays are really self-inflicted wounds. They're just badly designed trials. What will frequently happen is you'll have people that come over from big pharmaceutical companies. They leave for smaller companies with the idea that it won't be as bureaucratic, that they'll be able to get things more quickly, and then they recreate the same problems that they had at the big company, the small company. And so by designing this trial startup, we can alleviate a lot of these problems before they ever happen. And the goal is to get these trials back on track, both in time and resources.